Yerp, this is Perp back with another video, and I just got done watching Infinity Pool. This is starring Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård, and this is directed by David Cronenberg's son, Brandon Cronenberg. He also directed Possessor. That came out in like 2020. That was a good movie. I didn't review it, but that was a good movie. I prefer his style. It's father like son when it comes to the Cronenbergs. Like Cronenberg just known for making weird movies. But I will say this didn't completely take me out of, you know, my theater experience or just my movie going experience like Crimes of the Future. But anyways, this is really starring Alexander Skarsgård. He's our main character, I should say. He plays James. That's our main character. And he is pretty much this broke writer. I didn't say it, his wife did. And he's out here with his wife, Emma. I've drawn a blank on the actress's name. But she and him are out on vacation. You know, he's looking for some inspiration. Well, at the time, he's not really, doing much of anything. He's just, out here for some odd reason. And this place that they're at has like a weird kind of religious type of culture. It's very odd, and it's very creepy too at the same time. And this movie goes into so many different directions because it starts off with James and Emma just enjoying their vacation, and then somebody causes like a disturbance. That disturbance leads to Mia Goth's character, Gabby, interacting with James. And then these two becoming acquainted. And then it goes from just a trip to, oh, we're just going to hang out with some of these people that kind of know their way around this place. And they're also there on vacation as well. So then things just get so bizarre in this movie that, like I said, it goes from them being at this vacation spot to them meeting these groups of people, weird stranger-like people, and end up going on to this trip with them outside of the resort. And you already know, once they do that, that's where things get really interesting. They end up going to like this lake or this like pool or something like that. But then when they're coming back, it's like a scene out of I Know What You Did Last Summer, where they're in the car and they hit something. They think it's a deer. And James's character, he hits somebody. And Gabby's character's like, no, we can't get caught up with none of this stuff. You gotta just keep going, keep moving. So then they're able to kind of get back to the resort. But the next morning, James is taken away to prison, or taken away to the police station first, and then kind of put into this like holding cell. And this is where things get really bizarre, because then it turns into this like almost doppelganger, I guess, clone type of movie where you don't really, because he's pretty much like sentenced to death, but he doesn't really die. It's really weird how they do it in this. I'm probably going to do a horrible job explaining it, but picture it like this, right? They get into a crime, this being James, he gets into a crime, and then they make a copy of his body, kill his copy, so he can just roam around free. But then this is where the psychological thing comes in, where drugs come into play and hallucinogens, and just the thought of, did they kill the real James, or is this just like a copycat? Because they give you they give him like an urn and stuff. Like I said, this goes really crazy, and I don't know how people are gonna feel about this ending, because the ending is very weird. But I will say my favorite performance is definitely Mia Goth. She absolutely kills it once again. And I think she's going to have another crazy run this year. It's crazy that she got snubbed for Pearl for the Oscars. But nonetheless, this was a really compelling movie. I think there's going to be things that you're going to like about it. There's going to be things that you don't like about it. I think cinematography wise, it just looks really clean. It's really well put together. There are some very graphic scenes, some graphic scenes that I'm okay with, that being with Mia Goth, but I'm not going to spoil that, but if you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, overall, I enjoyed this movie. There's a lot of psychological things going on with just the plot and what's real, what's not. Is this just like an infinite loop? No pun intended. Well, I guess pun intended. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments below. If you have seen this movie, I would recommend checking out the trailer to see if it's something up your alley. I would see it just for Mia Goth's performance, and just also Alexander Skarsgård. I don't want to, side him, because he definitely did his thing as well in this. And man, yeah, I just can't wait to see what else Mia Goth got coming down the pipeline. And also, I'm looking forward to seeing what Brandon Cronenberg's going to do next, because he is definitely a chip off the old block as far as just his bizarre style, just like his father, and it's fascinating to me. But till next time, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.